Good afternoon, evening, night if you happen to be in New Zealand, and welcome to more playoff action here at AEL Rocket League University. It's time for our first match broadcasted from that loser's bracket that I can remember. It does look like a couple have been played, but still, it's going to be the Deakin Bois taking on the QUT Rusketeers. As joining me for this one is the lovely Kadius, who is feeling it chilled and relaxed, I am sure, for this best of 7. Kadius, how are we doing tonight?
Yeah, definitely pretty good. I know the last time I was on the stream, I was checking out one of the semi-final matches, actually. So this is going to be my first trip down into the losers bracket with everybody. Coming off a high, we had some great games, but I mean, you know, what I've got on my mind right now is just who exactly is going to be the one to make it all the way through to that grand final spot from all of these great losers bracket teams that we've got here.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of strong teams, and already there's been some pretty crazy twists and turns. We can take a look at the bracket right beside us. You can see the defending champs beating Lethal actually dropped in the semifinal against the UCID Rocket Lorg squad. So definitely a bit of a shocker right there. That means that winner's final is Rocket Lorg taking on the Monash Ball Chasers. However, that's for later teams to deal with. Right now, it's all about survival between the Deakin Bois and the QUT Rusketeers, two teams that have performed quite well to get this far before coming up that little bit short. Quick look at their roster. Of course, for the Deakin Bois, Fates, as well as Malshin, Slimy Man, the Dark One, and Call Me Moo. A very, very consistent team going up against the QUT Rusketeers. Lordsy, Saucy Time, Nacho, all have been regular players, but with Calcerin as the captain, hopefully making an appearance, as well as South's a potential sub. Each of these rosters are large, and it's all about who shows up on the day.
Yeah, definitely going to be some exciting games. That match that you mentioned before was actually the last one I was on for, that semifinals upset. And honestly, if that game where I remember we were sitting there and we were thinking like, man, this is going to be probably like a 4-0 from Beat Lethal here, you know, first seed in the entire bracket. And then it ended up going all the way to match 7 and resulted in a big upset. So at this point, anything can happen. I'm just excited to see exactly where this is going to go.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that UCID Rocket Lorg lineup. And I have to say, I, too, would call that matchup an upset, but not one that I'm terribly surprised about, I think would be the best way to put it, because Negative and Cicelo are each super strong players, but again, that's already happened. Always crazy to see games go the distance with 7 being played. Whether or not we see 7 in this match tonight, well, that's yet to be seen. However, before we do get into this game, I think it's high time we thank some of the sponsors who helped put this entire event together.
Of course, as you know, the Australian Esports League, University League for Season 2 is proudly sponsored by, first up, our presenting partner, Chatime, with their fresh iced tea, and you can go and try the new range today at your local store. Chatime is actually the fastest growing iced tea franchise in Australia, with over 120 Chatime tea breweries, with a commitment to quality ingredients and mix-ins and a flair for innovative flavor combinations to brew nothing but the very best iced teas. As well as that, we've got Predator, which is one of our new sponsors that's jumped on board. Is going to help you conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. Predator are the gaming PC partner of the AEL, allowing you to conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. And Predator puts power and precision in your hands, elevating your gaming experience in every way with quality and performance thanks to Predator. We also have AOC for the very best viewing experience. AOC is a global leader in monitor display technology. For more than 50 years, AOC has delivered an exceptional viewing experience to millions of loyal customers worldwide. And today, the company offers a wide selection of stylish monitors for home, office, or gaming. And then we have Indomie, where of course you can feed your game and try out their flavors today. Indomie noodles are made from carefully selected ingredients with the very best quality flour and fresh spices from the natural resources of Indonesia, giving it a unique and delicious taste. As a result of Indomie's success, their range has expanded to 14 different products. And last but certainly not least, we've got RIG Rig, what it takes to win. Rig develops headsets delivering superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. You can join the Rig team and enhance your gaming experience today.
Yeah, thank you once again to all of those wonderful sponsors, as you can see, without which we cannot afford to put forth events like this. It is through their support that we always have a fantastic time. That said, I think it's high time we get this match underway. You can see I'm giving the go to the teams. We are ready to kick this one off. Again, the Deakin Boys will be in a blue. The QUT Rusketeers will be in orange. Players are jumping onto the pitch as we speak, Kadius. And I got to ask right now, before we get too deep into it, do we have a favorite in this matchup?
I mean, I don't know. It feels almost like disingenuous to pick favorites after the last game I watched, right? Like, it really can go any way at the point that we're at right here with these level of teams.
Yeah, it feels like that can definitely be something which would happen. Obviously, you know, all the teams that make it to these top 12 are all super strong. One last time through the lineups, as we listed 5 players before, the 3 that are playing, at least for the side of Deakin, include Fates, Call Me Moo, and Slimy Man. Meanwhile, on that QUT side, we have Kalsarin, Nacho, as well as Lodzi, all representing their universities. And at the moment, it is QUT looking first. Lodzi going to be able to play a little bit of that backboard. Slimy Man able to steal it forward with the pass up to Face. Nacho on defense slows the play down, but cannot stop the shot from Slimy Man. 1-0 lead for the team in blue.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very early goal coming out here. Beautifully put here. We can see the angle delivered from Slimy Man. Just absolutely off the cuff, off the corner.
Good start. Straight down the center. So it'll be an interesting one because I feel if we're going to go with a favorite, like if I were to make my pick, I probably would lead to the Deakin side just because I feel this team has a bit more experience playing at this level. That said, if we're going to see QUT step up, Nacho is kind of that player I'm looking out for, but Call Me Moo is already in Nacho's face and then some, finding the dunk in front of the net. It's now a 2-0 lead in favor of Deakin.
Yeah, the Deakin Boys really showing themselves to have the more aggressive start here with 2 goals in, you know, not only half the game. You compare that to some of the other, you know, knockout stage games that we've seen where it's just been an absolute stalemate going into overtime almost every single round. But this one seems absolutely explosive as we nearly have a 3rd goal already, but not quite. It's barely going to get saved.
Kadius going for the double touch. It was so tight. However, don't let the high mechanical play fool you. That was a misplay from QUT in the end, as I believe it was Lodzi, I'm not positive on it, couldn't quite corral and turn that pressure into the open net goal. Those are those sort of missed opportunities that can come back to haunt a team in these types of situations. I mean, realistically, the scoreline should be 2-1 right now. It's 2-0, and that's the kind of play that stings. We have seen a lot of opportunities open up for each of these teams early, though, so I don't expect QUT to get shut out, but missing that point is going to hurt in the long run.
You'll have to see just how much that goal that got missed is going to pay off, and oh my goodness, they bring it back anyway. Nacho over the top of the defense here, comes in from the wing, and just a very, very slight miss from one of the Rusketeers defenders there is going to result in a nice, easy goal for the side of Rusketeers, putting themselves up on the board, only 1 goal away from tying this game up.
Yeah, so the reason why that shot was so successful and the reason why we saw the boys a little bit behind was how deep they were able to find that pass through the corner. Really well executed and really well placed on that setup. Instead of putting the ball right in front of the net, throwing it more towards the midfield just to guarantee that your teammate will be able to get to the ball first. I always love situations like that when they play out. At the moment, though, it's Call Me Moo putting pressure off the backboard. Fates from underneath, doesn't find the strike. Slimy Man will be challenged by Nacho. And before Lodzi can get the clear, Call Me Moo continues to stay right in the face of QUT. And I have to admit, I am loving the aggression coming from the blue side in this game right now. All of their challenges are in the forward third. They're not giving QUT space to set up. Really impressed with how Deakin is approaching this matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, it's definitely targeting the weakness of this Rusketeers lineup that we've seen so far, and that is just Lodzi appearing to be just a little bit short on these defenses time and time again. We saw him miss the defense there. That time he was able to grab it in time, but, you know, he's missed a couple in a row. Oh my goodness, getting very, very close there. And, you know, having one player who seems to just be not super consistent with his defense is definitely something that can be abused here by Blue if they do just play very aggressively into that goal, like you were saying.
Yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see if Lodzi's touches will get a bit more power behind them as the series progresses. Because it's not as if Lodzi hasn't been in position for the place necessarily, but they've been going for the delicate touch and hoping that a teammate will be able to get there first. And in reality, it's been doing a bit more harm than good. I do believe it's an easy fix and just getting a bit more power behind the touch that said, Calcerin actually with a bit of space across the center right now. Can't follow it up underneath, but Nacho can. It will be slowed down in the corner by Slammy Man. Lozzy already there. The 1v1 against Call Me Moo. This time the dunk goes in favor of QUT. However, the rest of the team playing a bit further back. They're unable to capitalize on the first attempt. Second attempt shut down by Slammy Man once more.
Yeah, again, Lozzy just missing the ball there a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I think it's the third time in just, the last few minutes that I've seen him do that. It's definitely, as you're mentioning, something that kind of needs to be shaped up on this Rusketeers lineup and, could be the difference between them winning or losing this game by if just a point. Vates nearly getting a nice little aerial shot there, but solid defense coming through to prevent it.
I find it interesting, the actual sheer amount of unforced errors, because I don't want to throw everything on Lozzy. I've seen a couple of myths from Calcerin as well, and these are just straight up unforced mistakes, and you cannot be affording that in a do or die series. Granted, with that extra game as opposed to the traditional best of 5, you do get a bit of leeway, and we have seen a bit more reservation coming from Deakin after the first couple minutes in this match, but I'm not seeing anything from QUT that's telling me that the team is playing with confidence. Great pass across the middle. Slimy Man puts game 1 out of reach. 3-1 lead in favor of the Deakin Boys.
Absolutely beautifully done here, Fates. Just tossing it over the top to Slimy Man, hitting it off the corner, just like the first goal of the game.
That was
really seems to be very good at hitting those shots.
just a great pass as well. And like, what impressed me the most about that one was the speed up the pitch. That was very well done from a team to secure a win. Ooh, Slimy Man almost stealing in a fourth in this one. Call Me Moo will keep the attacking pressure till the very end. Not going to see a comeback in game number 1, but that's why we are playing the full 7. Fade C will put one up for Slimy Man. The ball will get pinched to the opposite side of the field. Call Me Moo, well, keeping it alive for the sake of it, I'm sure. Either way, eventually that ball will hit the ground, and we have to turn our attention now towards game number 2 and what QUT realistically needs to do to get back in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we did mention their ability to just touch the ball being a little bit behind. Certain members like Calcerin and Lodzy did just kind of whiz by the ball a little bit, which obviously is an easy mistake to make, just being off with your timing by, a few fractions of a second, going a little bit too early, going a little bit too late. But when you're at this caliber of play where, the teams just don't miss a lot of the time. They're extremely good at making sure they're landing and connecting with the ball. If you're slipping up even a little bit and you lack that kind of consistency, again, that can just be the difference between a game being slightly in the favor of Deakin Boys like we saw here.
And it was something that I touched upon at the start of this series in regards to Deakin. If there's anything that this team has shown throughout this event so far, has been their consistency. They've been a solid top to bottom team just in terms of very few unforced errors. When the team gets beat, it's usually through straight outplays or just being outpaced. Never necessarily something they're doing wrong, but something that their opponents are doing exceptionally well. And against a team like QUT, who has high highs, but they also are showing sometimes they have a couple lower lows, as we do see a nice lob for Fates in front of the net. That time the defense will be able to hold through. It's a weaker touch, but Calcerin was able to follow it up. They can only get the ball to the midfield, but Lodzy with another unforced error nearly gets punished by Fates. Actually, QUT manages to maintain possession, going for the double touch. It's Lodzy from behind, a bit of redemption to make it a 1-0 game.
Yeah, my heart sank when I saw Calcerin miss that, only barely. It was so well played, but then Lodzy abusing a bit of a scramble on defense there to sink that one in the favor of Rusketeers. And I mean, it's good. It's definitely good to be up 1-0 at the start of the game like this, but it did kind of start on a bit of a blunder at the same time.
Yeah, it was a strange one for sure, and it's going back to almost the more passive play that I'm starting to see develop from a team that looked so good when on the attack. It felt for the first 2 minutes of game number 1, Deakin was constantly in QUT's face, playing super far forward up the field, tight cutoffs, tight rotations. But since then, they've been playing a bit more reserved. You can see 2 defenders back right here working off that backboard. They're giving a lot of space back over to QUT, which is all well and good, except for the fact that when QUT makes these unforced errors, like Call Me Moo actually just did, well, then they're not in position to punish. And I feel like they never got burned playing forward before, so I don't understand why they kind of stopped now.
Yeah, sort of an if it ain't broke, don't fix it sort of situation. I can definitely see that.
We do see Calcerin now in the middle of the field. That's up for grabs. Call Me Moo will be able to get there first. Playing it through the corner. It's a weak touch again by the defense. Call Me Moo this time plays for the unforced error and capitalizes, tying the game up.
Yeah, super nice here. Comes off the corner. Call Me Moo does see a little bit of a crack in the defense there and just swings it forward. Is able to sink that one in, tying up this game 1-1. 3 minutes 20 left in the round. And this is Rusketeers with their backs against the wall here, down in the series.
It's still a long series to go. However, like, just to go back to that goal, I love it when situations work out like that, where I question, why has the team stopped trying to play around the mistakes? QUT makes that mistake, and that time, finally, we saw Deakin in position to just capitalize on it. It's always nice when situations play out exactly as you kind of feel they should, because this series right now should be playing out exactly the way Deakin feels it should. They've been able to control the tempo for a majority of it. They're definitely dictating the style of play that QUT is forced to adapt to. I don't want to say, you know, something as drastic as there's a skill gap happening right now, but definitely the Deakin side looks a lot more warmer and a lot more confident coming into this series. So one of the good things about a best of 7 is there still will be a lot of time for things to turn around. However, with that bump, Lodsy might be opening up a doorway for QUT. Nancho doesn't take the shot, plays the corner instead, and Call Me Moo keeps it underneath.
Definitely both these teams right now just scrambling. It's getting very close, though, to the side of the Rusketeers goalpost. They have to be very careful. Nacho looking to get this one as far away as he can. Call Me Moo going to decide not in favor of that.
So, something else that is striking my attention, despite this being a tie game and despite the pressure possibly being on, have you come across a team yet in this tournament that is more stylistically inclined than Deakin is right now? You've got Slimy Man in that watermelon car. You have also the likes of Fates with, you know, the pupper sitting on the roof. And, of course, Call Me Moo rocking the catfish. I don't think I've ever seen a team put this much effort into team synergy when it comes to style over substance.
Absolutely. The Deakin drip is real.
I love it. Whenever you can turn it into an alliteration, that's fantastic. The Deakin drip showing up today. Still tie game, minute 18 remaining. We'll be curious to see if they're going to be able to drip another goal in. Call Me Moo throwing it up for themselves. Guess that late touch didn't quite have the angle. Lodsy almost own goals it, but the ball stays out of the net. A minute 5 to go in this one. Another miss from Lodsy, but Calcerin's there to bail them out. This is getting very close to breaking this tie game. Call Me Moo puts up the meatball. Slimy Man spikes it down. Lodsy underneath makes the first save, and it's Calcerin with the second, but no one's there for the third. 2-1 lead in favor of the Deakin boys.
Yeah, classic 1-2-3. Slimy Man hits it down. Fates for the first shot. Both defenders swing for it, and that leaves no one available to defend Call Me Moo and cover him for the third strike. And that's going to be the big gap there. And again, it's those tiny little mistakes at this point in the competition, right? Like just not having the comms to say that I'm going to defend this one. So you have both defenders swing for it instead of just one. And then you have a completely open net for the third attack.
I feel in that situation, though, considering the pressure they were under, I'm going to be a bit more lenient on QUT right there. Nancho was the player in front, and had we not seen the double commit, then the second shot would have come through. So I feel as if, yes, I agree, you never want to see double commits, but sometimes you're forced to when you recognize that that player in front of you isn't going to be able to make contact there. However, because they were forced to commit to, the third ball went in. So it was less of a double commit being the mistake in that situation, but more along the lines of, well, there was a bit of a swing and a miss. Still, Nancho this time, kind of proving up to that swing and miss moniker. Misses a play to possibly end this game. 0 seconds left on the clock. Slimy Man from the backboard, keeping it in the corner, dropping it down. Calcerin got underneath. And we still have a bit of hope, actually, for this QUT side. Lodsy, if they can keep it alive, well, now it's going the wrong way, and the ball hits the ground. Deakin takes the second game, but only by 1.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a closer game than our last. But, I mean, the same mistakes were kind of slipping through there. We saw Lodsy quite literally sit back and wait and be patient for the ball. And then when the ball did kind of slowly come his way, he did predict where the ball was going to go. He just missed it completely. And then that opened up the net for that big three-way attack that we were talking about. If he had have connected with the ball there never would have been a possibility for that goal to exist in the first place. So, you know, it's just these very small micro errors of just this QT lineup not quite connecting when they should. that is just really just being the tiny little difference between them and Deakin Bois in this loser bracket match.
I'm starting to get worried that I may have named Deakin the wrong thing. Yeah, it is the Deakin Bois. B-O-I-S. What? I'm confused. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. Whoops. Oh my gosh, my keyboard made things messy. Anyways, yeah, continue on with the game. I'll fix the overlay.
Deakin Bois.
Everyone make fun of the journalism student who can't spell. I'm giving everyone permission now.
But Slimy Man nearly making a great shot there, but some excellent saves coming through from Rusketeers. Keeps the ball in play. Komimu looking to hit it up top here as Slimy Man hitting it forward. Again, the pressure right now just being kept on Rusketeers. This defense is being abused to the maximum. Lodzi, though, maybe looking to turn things around. It's up over the defense, and he's actually turned it around. Lodzi, he might not always connect, but when it counts, he's there. Up right over the top of Call Me Moo. He jumped a little bit too early for the gun, and it's going to result in Rusketeers taking away the first point of this match.
Yeah, so I think what we've learned, the Deakin Bois, unstoppable. The Deakin Bois, well, could be in a bit of trouble here. QUT feels much more comfortable in this matchup as we watch Calcerin try to find a pass across the middle. Instead runs into Fates, who will try to stay with it underneath. Lodzi steals it off of them, but that will be only until Slimy Man wrestles possession back in favor of this blue side. Nacho off the backboard actually gets it over the top of Kalbi Moo and almost was able to follow it up. Fates, though, will put a bit of pressure behind Kalbi Moo. Again, a bit too far forward now. And we're starting to see little positional mistakes coming from the blue side. Defenders bump into each other. Slimy Man still has some attacking pressure. Fates will look to play through that corner. Doesn't get the redirect. Interesting play thus far. Now we're starting to see the team with the more aggressive edge, that being Deakin, actually start to get punished a little bit from their own small mechanical mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things, right, where they were continuously not being punished for triple committing up in the very aggressive positions and not really having anybody sit back as a dedicated defender in those situations. And while it does allow you to go for those crazy 1-2-3 offense plays that we saw earlier, it also allows for situations like that where there's just a tiny crack in your offense and then, you know, you see Lodzi just absolutely abuse it, take the ball all the way downfield and sink a bit of a freebie. So certainly a double-edged sword of the way that Deakin's playing right now, and it's just a matter of whether or not they're going to be able to reap the rewards without suffering the cons. And
so
it is
I know what you're thinking when you see that, but again, the first defender miss, they had to double commit, and the only way they're making that save is if you throw your teammate into the ball. We saw it happen. Kadius appears to be speechless at the defense.
Yeah, I'm trying to process what happened.
It was something, that is for sure. A bit unfortunate though that it hasn't actually turned back around into a goal for the Deakin side. QUT 2 minutes away from their first game victory, and that is one that they do desperately need. Falling 3-0 down in a best-of-7 series more often than not is that death sentence. That said, Fate still putting shots on. Kalbi Moo with the demo. Here comes the Slimy Man. That's going to be a tie ball game. 1:55 remaining, and Deakin still on the hunt.
Absolutely comes up here like Randy Orton, bam, straight through the side. And I gotta say, Slimy Man, this is like his specialty, just getting those shots off the side, sinking them diagonally into the goal. He's done it 3 times this series. Definitely seems like his favorite type of shots to take, because he doesn't miss those. Absolutely does not miss those.
No, he has not been missing them at all. And Slimy Man was that player that I was trying to highlight before. When it comes to this Deakin side, he is a very consistent player, can be very mechanically strong when required, and coming through in the clutch right there. Now a chance to add another to it. Kalbi Moo's shot will be saved by Lodzi, but there was no one to really dish it off to. Calcerin has to burn a lot of boost to make sure they get to that ball first, and that will really dig into the resources. So I don't expect this attack to be that sustained, although slowing the tempo down might not have been the right play for Call Me Moo. 1:15 remaining. Now QUT have themselves established. Can they find a goal from this? Not quite. Fate C gets some space. Nacho puts it back forward. Calcerin stay deep. Pass back down in the box. Cleared by Slimy Man.
1 minute remaining. It is 1-all currently. We could be seeing a bit of an overtime, potentially. We'll have to wait and see. I do know that Calcerin is rocking the G2 skin. I wonder if he's like sponsored or just a fanboy?
I'll just be a fanboy. There is G2 is not involved in Oceanic Rocket League at this stage.
Very sad.
Yeah, it would be nice. Well, but you want to support the Oceanic Rocket League teams? We finally got our skins. So Renegades and Ground Zero now each have their own skins. Call me Moo! Double doinks it through. A little bit of Justin Tuck right there. 2-1 lead in favor of the Deakin Boys.
The sorts of goals give me so much anxiety. You see it just bouncing there, like, is it going to go in? Is it going to go in? And then it does. He had a teammate there just to make sure if it didn't, but so much suspense when you see it bouncing up and down like that.
That was very tense and great time for a go-ahead goal right now. 15 seconds remaining. Desperation moments for QUT, but no one's back on defense. Lozzie gets behind. Slimy Man misses, but Call Me Moo was able to wrap that one up. A near breakaway to possibly tie this game. Shut down once more by Deakin. It's got to come down to the 0-second play. Calceren's going to throw it forward, but Fatesy will spike it down and out. Deakin advances to match point.
Yeah, Deakin in a 3-0 position right now. This could be a 4-0, which is exactly how you want to kick off your losers bracket dream run. Definitely want to be with that momentum in your wings going into your next match.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be feeling it, I think, going into that match, because when you have the 4-game cushion, you feel good. You feel confident, and QUT, even when they have the lead, they just have not really been able to sustain, I feel like, these long attacks quite the same way Deakin has. Deakin a lot stronger, I feel, when it comes to just that on-pitch play overall mechanically. They're always that little bit faster, that little bit more consistent. We're going to need to see a big turnaround from the QUT side if they're going to come back in this one. Otherwise, their tournament may be done in just under 5 minutes' time. Fates misses on the open net to make it a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Calceren might not, though. The defense barely coming through from Slimy Man. But again, this is something that we haven't seen all too much. This is Rusketeers playing very aggressively around the net. It might come back to bite them, though, as now Fates maybe looking to set up on the net.
That was spooky. Nancho almost let that one through. Slimy Man still going to center this ball. Calceren will push it forward. A chance, perhaps, for Nancho. Shot. Crow almost crosses off the defense. Call Me Moo able to recover in time, as we see the bump across the middle, thinking that perhaps a second Deakin member would get there. Ball still in the middle, though, because Calceren wasn't able to corral it. Nice touch to set up Fates. Ball still in the box. Where's Slimy Man? He's so far back. And once more, we're seeing those mistakes from Deakin unable to be capitalized upon, or I should say from QUT. When they make them, Deakin just sits back. They're not in position to punish the misplays.
God, that noise that the watermelon skin makes with its boost, like those little squelching noises. Not a fan of those.
I mean, I'm just going to keep it on Slimy Man now. It's all part of the theme, right? So that squishy watermelon.
True, Slimy Man. I was gonna say that when Nacho, he kind of had a bit of an open goal there for that side, like that side shot style that we've seen Slimy Man land consistently. And Nacho, he's not that guy. He wasn't able to. He wasn't able to pull off the Slimy Man in Slimy Man's own game. And he's going to result in Rusketeers not quite grabbing a goal when they maybe could have.
Oh, Fates just went for something very crazy. A little unfortunate they can't pull off that redirect. That could have been a special moment. Instead, not quite going to go over to Lodzi. Ball's off the post, and Fates will find the clear. Nancho goes for the ones play, cannot shut down this attack. Fates follows it up, gets it nearly past Calceren, but at least gets it to Slimy Man, who will have to throw it to the corner. That is all 3 defenders in said corner. Nancho instead looks to center themselves, has to follow up into an awkward spot on this pass, but does get the dunk. No one takes the shot. Lodzi and Calceren pulled away. That causes the defense to bite. It's a fake for a fake for a fake. And the end result is a ball rolling around on the backboard.
Ooh, Call Me Moo actually gonna miss there. I gotta say, this game has just been very aggressive. It looks like Rusketeers, you feel like they've almost kind of stepped up to match the offense that we've seen from Deakin Bois this series, and it looks like it might be paying off.
I mean, it definitely is going to help with this goal at the moment. Slimy Man recognizing that tough situation, had to commit that one, almost like a soccer penalty kick right there. Just pick a direction and hope. Unfortunately, they picked incorrectly on this occasion halfway through the game. And once more, we see the QUT Rusketeers with the lead. Last time, they were unable to hold on. This time, they have to, as their tournament life does depend on it.
Yeah, again, we are seeing Rusketeers going full offense here, just playing with all three members up in front of the goal. Kind of taking a book out of Deakin Bois', like a page out of Deakin Bois' book, I should say. It does beg the question. We've seen some incredible offense from Deakin this series, but maybe that comes at the cost of perhaps their weakness as a team being their own defense, because if they're spending all this time just kind of on the triple attack and never really having to worry about dealing with a triple attack of their own, maybe that can't be exploited, and Rusketeers maybe realizing a bit of that, trying to take advantage of it here when they have their backs to the wall with, this 3-game disadvantage.
Yeah, I still admire the confidence, though, and some of the ingenuity of the attack that was lacking from QUT before. Lodzi going for that backboard shot, nearly was able to put it through. We've seen a couple near hits with very technical approaches. I'm curious if we'll get one more as we see, Bates, nice interception. This will create some attacking pressure for the Deakin Bois. They haven't had much this game. It's pretty much been very QUT dominated. Well, now Kalmimu has to play setup, gets the ball off the wall. Fates has a look. It's a swing and a miss from Kalser, and Kalmimu will punish, and that's going to be a tie ball game with 1:09 to go.
Yeah, and again, QUT definitely looking like the more aggressive team this time, but unfortunately, they're just the team that slips a little bit more. If you look at the shots on the scoreboard, right, 5 shots this game in favor of QUT, only 3 shots coming through from Deakin in total, and yet equal amount of goals despite having less attempts at landing it. It just shows that, this Deakin lineup do have a little bit superior defense.
That they do, and I think it's just been nearly superior across the board. I love that fake. I love that breakaway. Slimy Man for the lead. Under a minute to go, and Deakin is 49 seconds away from advancing to losers bracket round 3.
Yeah, he just dribbles this one in over the top beautifully. Definitely with some style there. With his nice little glitter effects as well. Glitter and watermelon, an interesting combination choice, but Slimy Man making it look good.
Man's making a lot look good in this series. I have to admit, if I were to be picking an MVP, it would be Call Me Moo, but Slimy Man definitely has the style in their favor. Either way, 35 seconds to go. We see that pinch out of the box. Call Me Moo racing back on defense, gets the play over the top of Nacho. Fates isn't able to follow it up, but a nice bump from Slimy Man nearly stops the attack. Not quite yet. 25 seconds. QUT. Lodzi almost gets the goal. Nacho keeps it in the box, but Slimy Man will find that clear and find Fates as well. Straight up the middle. Call Me Moo escorts it through, and that is the dagger in this series. The Deakin Bois pull 2 ahead with 16 seconds to spare.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just basically game. It's going to be very unlikely here if we do see Rusketeers manage to get 2 very, very quick goals with only 15 seconds left. Not completely out of the question, but 10 seconds. Ooh!
They have a chance. No! Slimy Man shuts it down. That kickoff was the ideal situation for the Rusketeers, but they fall that one step short. A 4-0 sweep for the Deakin Bois. They get themselves the victory. They will advance to that next stage. Granted, we don't quite know who they're going to be playing against next. That's still to be decided as we can pull it back to our bracket right over here. We can see, well, soon it will be updated with their victory. We're going to be waiting for the results of RMIT Black versus Curtin University to figure out their next opponent. But for today, the Deakin Bois,
the powerful teams that we saw in the group stage, and exactly how they're going to be able to compare with each other.
Yeah, it will be exciting to watch where we go from here. But unfortunately, it was only one game tonight, and I do hope that everyone who did tune in was able to enjoy it. There's going to be a lot more matches in these upcoming weeks, however. So if you haven't done it already, please make sure to like, follow, subscribe to all of the AEL content, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you are. Please just follow along because these games are just going to get better and better from here.
Yeah, definitely, and that is at AU Esports League on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and AEL Uni and AEL Uni 2 over on Twitch to catch all of that. As well as that, of course, there's our own Twitters, as you can see here on the lower thirds, that you can go and check out as well. And yeah, Max, I'm definitely excited to see some more Rocket League. I gotta say, every single game that I've seen in this knockout stage has just been like incredible. I think this is such a good season, brimming with talent. And I can't wait to see exactly where it goes next.
Absolutely. And then when you take a look at RLCS Season 11 right around the corner, and some of these players are thinking, hey, maybe I can get myself on that team. Some of these players are already on teams, in fact, especially when you took a look ahead at where some of them are laying out. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. The best caliber of teams always seem to show up here at AEL, so you're not going to want to miss it. But until then, that has been Kadius. I have been Formal. Big last thank you to RIG, Indomie, AOC, Predator, and of course, Chatime for joining us with us. And until next time, we'll catch you all out there out on the pitch.